very early this morning, and then she brought the youngsters across, and they've all been enjoying the meat for the whole day, and now they're so full that they're fast asleep in the tree. And Anna, you, very clever question, you want to know if these leopards have this different patterns in the same way that zebra have different patterns. Anna, they absolutely do. No leopard has the same spots, and you can already see, so one of the ways that we identify the leopards is by their unique spots. So one of our viewers was just saying that the other one, has got a butterfly pattern on the front of her forehead, and you won't be able to see that from here, but so that's a good way of identifying her, and that won't change throughout her life. You know the old saying that goes, a leopard doesn't change its spots. Well, in this case that's absolutely true. Those spots won't change, they'll just get a little bit bigger and a little bit further apart. And then the other one that Brian was showing you has got two different spots on either side of its nose, two on the left and two on the right, which of course we can't see at the moment because his head is the other side, but that's how we will identify him, and only he will have those spots in that particular position. So yes, they're very, very different spots. Can be difficult to tell though, because if you're not used to looking at them, they all kind of look the same. And Jasmine, a very good question. Of course, one of the big things about being a little animal is that you have to stay very safe. And you want to know if they can run as fast as their mum yet. Well, they're quite fast and they're quite good at climbing, but they're only 4 months old, you know. And in the same way, I mean, you could consider a 4-month-old leopard, I guess, the same as you guys, about 8 years old in human years. So you know that you're not quite as fast as your mum and your dad yet, but when you're about 12 or 13, well, then you'll be nearly as fast as your mum, and maybe when you're about 15, you'll be as fast as your dad. And that's the same with the leopards. So when they get to the human equivalent of, say, 15, which is about a year old, well, then they will be as fast as their mum. So they're still fast, but they're not quite as fast as their mum, but they're very good at climbing. And that's how they stay away from other predators. Now, we know that they are vulnerable to other predators like lions and hyenas, and so they have to stay out of the way, and they do that by climbing. Now, Riley, of course, it's very difficult for you to tell looking at the screen how big they are. Riley, these cubs are, well, let's try and describe it. They're probably about 1.5 feet long from the tip of the nose to the base of the tail. So that's where the tail comes to the sort of top of the body. And if she extends the tail out behind her there, probably about 2.5 feet. So 1.5 feet long from the bottom to the top. And they weigh very little at this stage, probably only about 5 kilograms, 11 pounds or so. The female's a bit bigger. She's 12 years old now, and she's like, can you imagine an Alsatian dog? She's like a really big Alsatian dog. That's about the same size as she is. She probably weighs about 45 kilograms, which in pounds is about 100 pounds. So that's how big they are. The cubs are about the size of, let me try and think of a dog size. They're about the size of, say, what, Brian, a Staffy, maybe? About that? Yeah. About the size of a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. I don't know if you know what that is, everyone, but that's about the size that they are. So they're much bigger than a house cat by this stage. Oh, Grace, you ask a very good question, and it's a question, you know, that we get asked a lot about lots of the baby animals that we see out here. Where is their father? Well, we're pretty sure that their father's name is Tingana, and Tingana is the big male leopard that lives in this area, but the male leopards don't have any role in playing parent, so they don't look after these little ones. Well, they don't look after them directly. So inside Tingana's territory, he's got 3 or 4 females, and 2 of them have got babies, and so he looks after both families, but he doesn't look after them by being around them. he looks after them by staying close by and making sure that other male leopards don't come around and harm his babies. So that's how leopard male is a good father. Stations one station here, all animals up in a marula tree. I was just talking on the radio there, everyone. Go ahead. Copy that. Alright, let's head across to Jamie and find out what she's looking for. I know she's looking for some other cats. Maybe she'll be lucky.